I want to talk real quick about the 230 Bay Reef that I picked up today. We got to take it out on the water, just a little pond, but we got it cruising.
It's amazing. I mean, I'm glad you went ahead and said, the heck with the weather, let's do it anyway.
Welcome to the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast, inspiring real women with a passion for fishing and the outdoors to go get their adventure on. Now, here's your fearless host, Angie Scott.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast. We are right down to the wire here. If you've been following along and listening to these episodes as they're released, I'm currently 3 days away from hitting the road for Dallas, Texas to fish my first Lady Bass Anglers Association Women's Pro Bass Tour tournament as a boater on Lake Ray Hubbard just outside of Dallas. I have been working tirelessly to get everything together, and we're so close, but still not quite 100%. The boat is still not quite rigged, and I want to put it in the water here at least one time before we leave, and I officially tell them I'm switching over to the boater side. Currently, I'm registered as a co-angler, but I'm right on the bubble, meaning if a boater has to drop out for any reason, I'm out. If we get the boat ready to go, then 2 more co-anglers get to fish, so that's another big motivation for me to try to get this all situated. We're missing the foot pedal for the trolling motor, the base for the back casting deck seat, and that would be for the co-angler, and then I'd like to have some tie-down straps for my rods on the front deck. Could I fish without all those things? Absolutely. The trolling motor does have a remote control, obviously not conducive to fishing a bass tournament, but probably not many people have more experience fishing like that than me, because that's all my little Quest Pontoon Minn Kota trolling motor had was the remote control. There wasn't an option to have a foot pedal for that. So, and I fished that way for many years. So not ideal, but doable. Also, we filmed the first episode from the Lance Mobile Podcast Studio this past week. 2 chicks in a boat, Beth and Lori, were my guinea pigs, and everything went off without a hitch. It couldn't have gone more smoothly. It was a video podcast episode to boot, so I'm looking forward to doing more of those this year. And look for that episode to come out on Tuesday. It was kind of our first trial run. Actually, we took it over to an RV park and to try out all the different systems, make sure everything works good. And the one thing that did not work was the water heater. So I turned on the water heater, heated up the water great, but I think it's maybe an adjustment. It's a little too hot because it started coming out the pressure relief valve on the outside of the truck camper. Cut that off, and we need to get that figured out. In the place that we were going to be staying outside of Dallas, right close to the boat launch there, was this RV park called Plantation Place. They do not have a bathhouse there. So it would be pretty rough being there for a week to 10 days and not having easy access to hot water to take a shower and all those things. So with everything still kind of up in the air with the boat, we decided just to focus all our attention on getting that ready to go. That's the main thing for this trip, this first tournament. And then from there, we'll get the truck camper worked out. I've got some ideas on other things I want to do to the camper as well to make it more efficient, like adding lithium batteries, possibly a solar panel. Might go with an upgraded water heater. We'll see what that ends up being. But anyways, so great experience from the studio itself. Everything worked great. And I'll be doing some videos showing you my setup on that, and looking forward to doing more episodes from the Lance Truck Camper Mobile Podcast Studio. One more quick announcement. I am teaming up with bassing gal Barbara Harris on a new project called Women's World of Fishing. We'll be going live on YouTube every Monday evening, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, to cover all things in the world of women in fishing. And we invite you to come on with us, interact with us. We think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing it from the same platform that I did my first mobile podcast studio episode with Beth and Lori. So it's really easy to join in, and looking forward to that. So it's also going to be going out to Twitter and Facebook as well. So if you're not on YouTube, you can also connect with us on those other platforms. And we hope you can join us. It's going to be live from Lake Ray Hubbard in Dallas. First episode Monday evening, and we'd love to see you there. All right, so this week's episode, you get to meet Tom and Mike Marlowe from Key West Boats. So I'm running a 230 Bay Reef this year, and I went to South Carolina to tour the factory, pick up the boat for the Boat Locker dealership in Nashville so they could get to work on getting her all rigged up. And while I was there, we got to take it for a quick test spin with the Yamaha 250 VMAX show. You'll hear about that in this week's episode. And also, did you ever wonder how Key West Boats in Ridgeville, South Carolina came to be named Key West? Well, you'll find out the answer to that on this week's episode as well, so I hope you enjoy. All right, so I'm here in Ridgeville, South Carolina at the Key West Boats office. I've got Tom and Mike Marlowe here with Key West, and we've been hanging out. I get to pick up the new boat today. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I got to see the facilities and all the new construction that's going on. So welcome, guys, to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having us. I've been enjoying the visit so far, for sure.
Yeah.
I have too. Yeah,
very, very nice.
It's been a blast. A quick trip, but we squeezed a lot in a short amount of time for sure. So one of you guys want to kind of tell the listeners a little bit about the history of Key West Boats and...
I'll let Dad do that. He's a little more articulate and smoother talking on that. He'll stay to the point a little better than I will.
That was a nice way of saying I'm old enough to know all this history.
Yeah, you've been with Key West pretty much since the very beginning.
Yep. We'll give you a history on Key West Boats. It started, the name Key West Boats was established in 1986. Of course, Hutch Holzberg is the owner now. He had a partner back in those days named Dale Martin. It was probably back in early 2000s, 2002 or so, that Hutch was able to buy out Dale Martin. They agreed to split and go separate ways, and Hutch bought out Dale, and Dale went on to a horse farm. Since 1986, we've been building Key West Boats right here in Ridgeville, South Carolina. Ridgeville has literally grown up around Key West Boats. It is a major thoroughfare these days compared to what it was. People ask pretty often where the name Key West Boats came from in Ridgeville, South Carolina. And there's a pretty interesting story to that. There was another very brief partner back in those days. His name was Jack something. I forget his last name. I met him. Nice enough guy. He brought to the partnership a set of molds that could build a 1700 Key West. Back in those days, though, the name of the boat was West. There's not a whole lot nautical sounding about West boats. West is a direction. When Jack decided he wanted to be bought out, Hutch and Dale, readily bought him out, but they were broke after they did that. They didn't have a lot of money to begin with. They bought him out and were broke. But they wanted to change the name to something that sounded more nautical, more like a boat name than a direction. And they did a little brainstorming, and they said, well, why don't we just add Key to it? We already got the West decals, and we would only have to buy Key decals then. So we can put Key in front of West, and we'll have Key West Boats. And that's exactly what they did. That's because they were broke. They bought a few decals.
That's such a great story. And it's funny because I've been telling people, I'm going to Key West headquarters. The factory. Gonna pick up the boat. Yeah, they're like, oh, that's so cool. You get to go to Key West. Everybody assumes.
I get that often. Wearing my shirt says Key West. Man, this must be nice to be down there in Key West. I don't know. I've been twice.
I've never been to Key West.
Really?
No,
we didn't make it. That's right. We went to Marathon.
But I used to work in Somerville at the Somerville Marine, the dealership, and we were the major dealership in the country at the time for Key West Boats. And I'd have a customer every so often that, would be anxious to get their boat or whatever. And I'd say, well, I'll run up to Key West and pick it up. And, well, how long will it take to get back? About an hour. I mean, literally, it was right down the road.
Right, yeah, that's funny.
From billion-dollar ad budgets and arena naming rights to tens of thousands of retail locations, big wireless providers spend big to appear like they're your only option. How do they afford it all? That big bill you get at the end of every month. Mint Mobile had a different idea. Instead of brick and mortar overhead, Mint Mobile is online only. What does that mean for you? A whole lot of savings, because wireless plans from Mint Mobile start at just $15 a month. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for just $15 a month. You'll save enough that you can get a brand new rod and reel for the upcoming season. For anyone who just hates their phone bill, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan, and you can even keep your same phone number along with all of your existing contacts. By going online only and eliminating traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes significant savings on to you. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/waypoint. That's mintmobile.com/waypoint. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/waypoint.
So been around for a while. Has kind of gone through some different models and things like that over the years. So you're at 12 models. We counted it up to today. 12 different models currently. And I picked up the 230 Bay Reef.
Yeah.
I got to see the molds and kind of see how all that process works, which was really cool. And you guys have a pretty big operation. I mean, how many boats do you put out a week?
We're currently trying to average between 40, 45, sometimes closer to 50 boats a week, but we're always 40 or over. I mean, even with the restraints and the obstacles and all those current conditions that everybody's having to deal with, with every excuse to do less, we have found a way, a lot to do with our team and everybody involved to not only do as much as we've done in the past, but do a little bit more this year, even with all the restraints, constraints, and, everything being against us, we found a way to overcome and actually, do better. Yeah. Which is a testament in itself.
For sure. That's a lot of boats to crank out.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
You've seen today.
Especially
little organized chaos going on. It's amazing how we can start with such a mess and end up with a pile of beautiful.
And with all the construction you guys got going on, which is exciting.
Yes, and frustrating and exciting. And
expanding the facilities. I'll have to come back down sometime when everything is...
I'm excited for that. I mean, just being over here, in this new office building right here, has been amazing for just, our own self-esteem. You look out the window at the muddy mess and the doldrums of construction and all the slow misery of it just dragging on day after day and just being in your way. But then you get a little glimpse. You come over to this brand new office. This is beautiful. Everything's awesome. I just hope that those guys in the plant, whenever they get that finished, if they feel half as good as I do about where I'm at right now, production probably will increase by 20% just by morale. Mm-hmm. People just feel better about working there. I can't. That's how it makes me feel just walking through it. The excitement level. It's good stuff. It's a long time coming, but
you know what's got to make them happy?
Air conditioning.
Climate control.
Air conditioning. That makes everybody happy.
Game changer.
I've been in there in the summertime. And the wintertime.
Yeah. We have fans and air moving, but it moves the air that's in there. If it's hot air, it's moving hot air.
And you guys updated your website recently too.
We've made a lot of investments. Into the, our dealers would like us to invest more in some new product, but we're not known for being the fastest guys on the block. We're known for being the most stable, most sure quality. We're going to be here. We're going to stand behind it. We're going to do it right. We're going to slowly do it, but we're going to get it done right. When it's done, it's ours. It's done the way we wanted to get it done, and it's ours. We don't owe nobody nothing for it. We took our time, did it the right way, and that's why we're going to be here for another 30 plus years.
People ask me all the time, why would I buy a Key West boat instead of that brand over there or whatever? And sometimes, it's hard to come up with good reasons because, those other brands look pretty good too. But I tell them about the stability of the company. The guy that started the company is still, day to day here. Not every day, but he's here.
More so now with the dirt being moved around. He likes watching,
he likes dirt.
he likes watching dirt get moved.
But the financial stability of the company, ever since 1986, everything that we have done to expand has been paid for out of pocket. We don't finance $1 million building and make payments on it. The finance charges, all of the cost of doing business is packed into the price of the boat. We have very little overhead because we paid for everything as we grow. And that causes you to be financially stable. The downturn of 2008, 2009, that was a miserable time to be in the boat business because everything was paid for. We had to do some layoffs because we simply had too many people. But we were never financially strapped to the point where we couldn't keep the doors open. We were open every day. We were building something every day. And we were available for the people that had a problem with their boat. We had parts, we had service, whatever. So there was a lot of people that weren't able to say that. Most boat companies shut down for some period of time. Key West Boats never did.
During that time, opposite what most were doing, they were succumbing to the pressures of going out of business or bankruptcy or just restructuring. We were able actually to grow. Hudge made investments during that time. We was able to invest in Pioneer Boats, which is a sister company of ours, as well as Tidewater Boats. For a while there, we were building Tidewater and Key West out of the same facility here just to keep the workforce flowing. This is what needed to happen and what we were able to do. And to this day, we're still, largely involved in those two operations as well.
I did not know that. That's cool. It's good to be in that position to be able to, capitalize on those opportunities when they come up to you.
Well, no one wants to see good boat companies go away. Because, at the end of the day, we can only build so many boats. Of course, I want everybody to have a Key West boat in their driveway, but, we can build 2,000 and a little more than that boats a year. I hate to say it, but there's more than 2,000 people a year that want a boat.
Oh, yeah.
So we need somebody else out there. That way they can go use their boat and realize when they do use ours how much better it is.
Right. Well, and, you mentioned being available for service issues and stuff like that. I think I've kind of gotten the feeling being here and researching a little bit about Key West Boats online and stuff that you guys really do stand behind your product and take a lot of pride in being there for customers if they have issues and things.
We do our best, and there's always going to be situations that probably doesn't work out the way everybody would like it to. But at the end of the day, we pride ourselves on doing what's right. Doing what needs to be done, what should be done. Sometimes it doesn't work out for the other guys, and they want the world, and we can only give them what's right. But we never walk away from a problem for sure.
Well, before we wrap this up, I want to talk real quick about the 230 Bay Reef that I picked up today. We got to take it out on the water, just a little pond. But we got it cruising, that thing.
It's amazing. I'm glad you went ahead and said, the heck with the weather, let's do it anyway.
Yeah, we had some cold weather came in, and it was a little rainy, but not too bad.
That quick, brisk ride made it work.
Yeah, that was fun. I forgot all about the weather.
Is the acceleration okay with you?
Yeah. That thing launches like a rocket. That's what it feels like. So I don't anticipate having any problems fishing bass tournaments from
if a fish outruns you, let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this year and getting to know the boat more and getting it set up. We still got a few things we need to do to it yet.
There's a fine tune on the rigging aspect of it because that's one thing that's what a dealer. You guys at the boat locker. They're going to really take it that next step and make that thing, personalize it to the point where it's yours. It's going to be built around you, and that's where a good dealer network comes in play. And you got to have that partnership on the other end to take it that final few steps to really make it yours.
Yep. So I'm excited to get it back to Nashville, get it all set up,
I'm excited for you.
Fingers crossed we get it ready to hit the road. Our deadline, basically, give or take, is around March 20th.
Nice.
So we'll be.
We got plenty of time. We got 18 days. What could go wrong?
Yeah. Especially with supply and demand, but fingers crossed we
Hey,
get it
I got
all.
faith in you. You got the hard part done. You got
Yeah,
a boat and
that's-
you got a motor. I mean, these days in
that's-
the boat industry, having those two components,
Yep.
you're leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of people.
Oh yeah, and a trailer.
And a trailer. That was I'm glad that worked out too.
Yeah, we need a trailer to get it home. So everything worked out, and I really appreciate you guys. We've had a blast, and this won't be the last you'll be hearing about Key
Good.
West boats on the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast. So
Angie, thank you.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much for listening, everyone. Stay tuned for next week's episode from the Lance Truck Camper Mobile Podcast Studio with two chicks in a boat. We talk a lot about tournament angling, which is kind of a hot topic for me right now. So if that's something you're interested in or just become a better bass angler, that's going to be a great episode for you to tune in for. And then don't forget about that Monday Night Live. So the night before that podcast comes out, the Monday Night Live, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You'll be able to access it on all those channels. I'll post the links in the Woman Angler and Adventurer page and group as well. So check that out, and we hope you can join us, interact, and I think it's going to be a really fun weekly Monday Night Live talking about all things in the world of women and fishing. That's all I got for now, and I'll be posting updates from Lake Ray Hubbard, and hopefully everything comes together. Y'all say a prayer, and I'll see you next week.